Alright my lawn and garden friends, in today's video we're going to be answering the question why your grass chute might be blocking up on your mower with grass. Let's find out why. Alright my friends, so like I mentioned in today's video we're going to be answering the question why your grass chutes on your mower keep blocking up with grass every time you go to mow the lawn. And this can be a massive headache and get really frustrated, but it can be a simple few little things that might be causing this, which are easily fixed. Now what I'm talking about is these tunnels here at the back of your push mower, as you can see on the Ego and on the Honda next to me, and they basically clog with grass here, not allowing the grass to escape back into the catcher behind the mower. Now there's a few reasons this can be causing this problem, and we'll go through each one today and how you can fix it on your mower. Now number one, we'll start with the things you can see behind me, either side of me, and that is your catcher. Many people often overlook how important maintaining an actual catcher on a mower is in the importance of the system of cutting the grass and getting it into the catcher. It is commonly overlooked, and that's why I've started with this one as number one, which might be the cause of the problem. Now, as you can see behind me, I've got three mesh style catchers here from Greenfield, Ego and Honda, but I also have a plastic catcher here from Massport. Now I'll take you through why this causes a backup in the tunnel. Now, with basic mower science, the way a mower works basically is you have the blades spinning around under the cutter deck. They cut the grass, but they're not only just cutting the grass, they're creating a whirlwind underneath the deck, and that is creating air forcing back through the tunnel into your catcher. Now, if your catcher is dirty and clogged up, then the air isn't able to escape through the catcher and exit out into the environment. Why this is important is because that's the end stage of the whole point of cutting the grass, moving through your mower and catching into the back of the catcher and filling up your catcher. Now, if you can imagine, say for instance, that if you have a mesh catcher that has full of grass clippings and old clippings, dirt, etc., and it's blocked all this mesh and it can't breathe, just like an air filter, it can't breathe and the wind can't pass through, then the continual cycle or flow of air created from the cutting disc through to the catcher can't be pushed out through the catcher, and it ends up not creating a ongoing force of air through the catcher, pushing the grass to the back of the catcher and allowing it to fill up properly. So yeah, that's the number one problem you probably have with your mower, why it's blocking up, is you don't have a clean catcher. Now, like I mentioned, when it comes to the mesh catcher, that is simple. A simple way of cleaning it is either with a pressure washer or a hose, as you can see over my right shoulder over here. If you have a pressure washer, by all means, you just need to put the catcher up somewhere like so, give the mesh a good clean out, make sure you don't pressure wash too close to the mesh so you don't have the chance of tearing it. But if you don't have a pressure washer, then just try and use your hose and put it on the hardest setting and try and clean it out the best you can. Now, when it comes to a hard catcher, even though they are hard plastic, they still have an air vent on the side here, and this still needs to maintain airflow. So again, air comes through the tunnel into your catcher and it needs to escape in order to create and push the grass back to the back of the catcher, allowing it to fill up properly. Now, most plastic catchers will have a metal grate inside here, and all you need to do is get yourself a hose and clean that out really thoroughly. Make sure the mesh is not blocked up, again, because that will be impeding the airflow through the catcher. So yeah, that's it guys, that's number one reason why it might be blocking your catcher. So go and check that out, give it a good clean out and see if that fixes your problem. Now, on to number 2. So number 2, we're going to be looking at your cutting blades. Now this could be another reason why your mower is blocking up in the grass tunnel. Now if you have got really, I'm not talking about blunt blades, I'm talking about the actual flute of the blade. So on a blade you have a flute that rises up, and you can get low rising ones, you can get high rising ones, and these flutes actually create a pathway to direct the cut grass and the air again to push back through the tunnel and into the catcher bag. Now if your blades are really worn down and they're just, the actual cutting blade is gone to nothing, just a piece of metal, and you've lost the flute and that's worn down as well, then you're not going to again be creating that wind cycle that creates under the cutter deck to cut the grass and then again push it back through the grass tunnel into your catcher. So that's number 2. You might need to replace your blades. All right, so number 3, we're going to be talking about the actual cutting deck. Now I'll just move the Ego out of the way. We'll bring the Honda over. And what I mean by that is, we'll flip this over for you so you can see here. So under here, this big thing here is the cutting deck. Now under the cutting deck, if you haven't cleaned this out and it is absolutely chock full of grass all the way around here, then again you are restricting airflow. So if you can imagine, if this is all just blocked up with old wet grass and isn't moving, then there's no area for wind to be created to again push the grass through your grass tunnel into your catcher. So that's number 3. Roll your mower over. Of course, make sure you're not rolling it over on the carby side. Make sure you roll your mower correctly. If you have a battery operated mower like the Ego there, then you don't matter where you roll it, you can flip it upside down any which way. It's battery, so it doesn't matter about oil. But with this one, like the Honda, just make sure your air filter or carby is shooting up to the sky and you won't have a problem. So yeah, flip it over. Again, get your pressure washer behind me or get a hose. Come out and give your cutter deck a good hose out, a good clean. If something's really baked on there and you've left it there for many years, you might need something like a paint scraper or just a big flathead screwdriver to try and loosen off anything you can. But as you can see, I do mine pretty regularly, given that I do this for a job and this mower is used daily. Then I come home pretty much every day and I give the deck a good washout. But yeah, so that's number 3, a clean cutter deck. Make sure it is clean of debris and grass. All right, my friends, so that's it for today's video. I hope you found it somewhat helpful and you can go out and now trial these 3 things on your mower, and hopefully that has fixed your problem and made you less frustrated when you can get out and mow your lawn. Of course, not letting your lawn grow till it's knee height is always a big help in stopping your grass from blocking through the chute as well. But let me know in the comments below if you found this video helpful. Please help the channel out by subscribing and hitting the like video on this video as well. I've also got a whole bunch of DIY maintenance videos on the channel that you can go back on. I think I've put them in a group so you can see them all on the channel. So go click on them and they can help you learn about doing any sort of maintenance or repairs on any of your garden equipment at home, and I take you through the steps of doing that. Anyway, legends, it's a beautiful day here in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. I'm going to get back to work and enjoy this beautiful weather. I hope you're all staying well, mentally and physically. We'll see you legends in the next video.